In today's video, I'll be discussing Aeternum, the new game by Amazon Studios, analysing if it's any good and whether it's worth a buy. New World is a massively multiplayer online game set in the fantasy island of Aeternum, with roughly 1,000 players per server. I split the game into three main aspects of gameplay: story, combat, and player companies. So let's go through them all now, starting with story. The land of Aeternum is not based in historical fact, but is inspired by 17th century colonialism, as seen by the conquistadors in the trailer. The player plays as an intrepid explorer who has just landed on the shores of Aeternum in order to uncover its secrets. Aeternum is home to a powerful substance rumoured to bestow everlasting life, and is therefore the ultimate goal for all players. However, the island is also home to a supernatural force known as the Corruption, turning the island and its creatures against the players. Players will not fight through dungeons and raids as of now, as in some other massively multiplayer online games, but will instead embark on quests that lead them across the island. So let's have a look at combat. New World is experimenting with a fairly new take on the combat, especially when it comes to PvP. Most games use what is called a targeting system. This means the player chooses their target, they begin whatever attack they want, and the ensuing damage is then done to their enemy. However, New World uses collision combat, meaning that any weapon or projectile must physically collide with its target in the game before doing damage. This could mean that different parts of the body will take different amounts of damage in relation to their vulnerability, although this has not been announced and is purely speculation on my part. One thing that is certain, however, is that this will incorporate a greater emphasis on skill and timing than other games, and the developers have said that high-level players can still lose to low-level players, even in duels, if they do not play smart. The class system that is also prevalent in many PvP games is not in the New World. Instead, players will increase their skill with individual weapons by using them. This allows for a mix of specialised players who excel in a specific type of combat versus jacks of all trades who are more versatile at the expense of effectiveness. This also allows players to cycle through different weapons in their inventory quickly as the situation demands. Originally, the game was going to be completely PvP, with the whole world open for combat, but the developers have since revised this, changing the combat system so a player can flag themselves for PvP or choose not to do so before they venture out of their settlement. Finally, let's have a look at player hierarchies and companies. Player companies are essentially a way for multiple players to team up in the world of an organised fashion, similar to guilds in other multiplayer games. However, in Aeternum, companies can actually lay claim to territories of land, enabling them to build structures and claim taxes off the players living there. For example, a company may decide to place structures allowing for easier smithing, allowing all players who have leveled up their crafting skills to make better use of them. However, one company may declare war against another, and the players residing in said area can take either side. The decision to place a smithery down may have been misjudged, and all magic wielding players in the area may now side with the attacking company, who have promised them more taxes to be spent on their magic skill trees. Player wars will be set in a massive area and will be 50v50, allowing for each battle to feel epic and a true part of the history of the server that the player is playing on. So, to conclude, Amazon's first foray into the world of gaming is an interesting one. They seem to have found the right balance of risk and safety whilst making the game. They've gone for a fairly traditional story and genre that's been done time and time again, making the combat system and the players' interactions with each other the true gem within the game and the deciding factor of how good it will be. Personally, I predict the true magic of the game will not come from the story, but the history that will build up in a server between rival factions and the power struggles between players. If that's the kind of thing you're into, I think it's definitely worth a buy to check it out. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. If you have any suggestions for how I can improve the quality or any topics you'd like to see me cover, please comment them down below, and please leave a like if you did like it, because I'm still growing the channel. Thank you.